Hi, I'm John Atack.
I'm Sam Atack.
This is an Opening Minds presentation, and we're going to talk about confusion technique. Now, decades that I've spent studying influence psychology or manipulation or whatever we want to call it, authoritarian control, bullying, there are lots of words for it. There's one technique that actually moves around and you find it labeled in different ways. But one of the ways of controlling people is through confusion. And Milton Erickson, who was the great man of hypnosis, who basically, while all around say, oh, that's complete nonsense and you shouldn't be doing it. And they probably weren't saying it in upper-class English accents. That's complete nonsense and you shouldn't be doing it. There was a point where I think there were, 91 psychology departments in US universities. This is around about 1970, and only 6 of them even mentioned hypnosis in the course, because hypnosis is the dark art.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about magic and all that kind of stuff. Milton Erickson ignored all of that. He was a medical doctor, and he developed many ways of getting people to subtly change their views. And the great confusion technique story is he was giving a lecture. You remember this one? He was giving a lecture one day.
Oh, yeah, and the shouting angry man.
Well, not necessarily. I don't know if he was angry. I don't know if that's through your imagination.
It is.
But he was a bit annoyed, I think.
Okay, slightly annoyed.
He was a professor, as I recollect. And he sat in the audience, and he was basically saying that this is bogus, this is complete nonsense, hypnosis, schmipnosis, what does that mean? And Erickson, he was a small, unassuming man who'd had polio as a child, and just gently said to him, why don't you come up to the stage and explain your views? And as the man walked towards the stage, Erickson held out his hand to him, and the man, thinking it was a handshake, held out his hand, but Erickson kept moving down and tied up the guy's shoelace, and he said, you could just go back to your seat and be quiet until the talk's finished. The man lamely turned round and went and sat in his seat. Now, this is confusion technique. It's where you expect one thing and something else happens. It happens in magic tricks. You want to confuse the person. You want to take their attention away from
misdirection.
Hello, look at this hand, because it's the other one that's doing the magic stuff. It's also fascinating that, to me, that, and maybe not to you, I don't know, that when people talk gibberish and pretend to be clever, and I'm not naming our names here.
Good. I was worried there.
Yeah. When people talk gibberish and pretend to be clever, we have a tendency to think, oh, they know something we don't.
I like the person who went into a conference of physicists and just copied what they were saying, and people thought of him as an expert.
Yeah, he's called Harry something or other, and he's from a Welsh university, and he's done all sorts of wonderful things. But just by repeating back to physicists what they said, using the words they used, he was able to persuade them that he was an eminent physicist. It happens in authoritarian groups that very often the leader will talk for a great long period of time, going on and on and on, talking about something that really doesn't seem relevant to the subject, and maybe making up a few new words along the way. Again, not mentioning any names. And there's this sense of, when I've advanced in my spiritual knowledge, I will understand what this means. And it's confusion. Now, let's move over to public relations. And maybe we should actually just stop here and make a separate statement about public relations. So this is a great mystery now. You don't know what we're going to say because we've confused you.
Yeah.
But we will be back in a few minutes.
Or will we?
Or will we? Talking about public relations and the use of confusion as a basic method within public relations, basic, secret, hidden, esoteric method within public relations. But we're not going to tell you about it right now. So thank you for sharing your time with us and sharing our time with you. And I'm John Atack.
I'm Sam Atack.
And this has been an Opening Minds presentation. Thank you so much.